Hey everybody, Coach Dom here with Coach Sandy. Today we're going to demonstrate 4 variations of lunges that we do here at the gym. Okay, so we're going to start from the easiest progression and work our way up to a more advanced progression. Alright, so the first progression I'm going to have Sandy demonstrate is a stationary lunge. I'm going to have you turn sideways. Good. So, we back up a little bit. We're going to take a split stance. Good. Okay. So, you'll see she's just a naturally large step. She's up on the ball of her back foot. Posture's nice and straight here. So right now her stomach's engaged. It's slightly braced tight. We're going to put her hands on her hips. Alright, and she's going to demonstrate a stationary lunge. She's going to drop that back knee to the ground, straight up. Good. So go back down for me. So you'll see her knee's pretty much right over her ankle. Slightly forward it's no big deal. We just don't want it way out here so all her pressure's on this toe. We want the weight distributed through her whole foot. Good, and back up. Perfect. So this knee can be locked or slightly bent, totally fine at the bottom. Good. Now, to make this a little bit, we can back your back foot up for me. Good. Now she takes a larger split like this, and she goes down, it's going to work the quadricep more. That stance she had is going to work the quadricep, hamstring, and glute, which is preferable. Okay? So that's your stationary lunge. So how we can make this exercise a little more advanced is by load. Okay, so grab the dumbbell, Sandy. So we can do it a couple ways. You're going to just take a step out again. So the easiest progression would be having the dumbbells hanging at the sides. That's going to create the lowest center of gravity. So that's going to be the least stress on the midsection. And then she would do a repetition and right back up. You would do all your reps like that, and then you would switch legs. She can put the dumbbells at her shoulders. Okay, nice and tall. They're just resting there. She's got good vertical posture. Now go. Now that's going to put a little more demand on the midsection. Okay, perfect. Now I'll show you a progression with that where we can take a barbell, okay, and we'll press the barbell overhead. We'll take our split stance, okay, and then now we'll do his lunge. Straight down, straight up. By putting this overhead, it's the furthest point away from the midsection. It's going to add a lot more demand on the midsection. It's going to be a great exercise for you. Okay? You can also load the weight on the back. Okay? You can also front load. So there's lots of different ways to do this exercise. Okay, next progression that we do here at the gym is we take that stationary lunge and we add some movement to it. So this is going to add a little coordination, a little balance. So Sandy's going to show us a reverse lunge. Okay? So she's just going to hands on her hips again. She's just going to step back into that lunge, drop the knee, and drive straight back up to the start position. And just explode back to the start. Perfect. I like the reverse lunge a little more than the front because it takes less stress on the knee, and it just transfers energy. You're really pushing off that back foot, driving up. So I think it's a great movement. Good. Then you would just do the other leg. So that's another movement. You can load it the same way. Another great way to load that one is we can take one dumbbell, which I'll demonstrate. So now we're stepping back with that left leg. We can load the weight on that same side. It's forcing this oblique to keep you upright. We don't want to be leaning like this. So then it just adds another dimension to the midsection. Okay, instead of always having both at the sides. Third progression that we do after reverse lunge is the Bulgarian split squat or rear foot elevated lunge. So Sandy's going to demonstrate that. So we're going to have a foot on the bench. Good. That looks about right. So she's going to start this movement by dropping this knee down and back. So you'll see that knee. Perfect. Right over that shin. Good. Back up tall. Good. This knee's down and back. Almost to the ground. Back up. You can put a pad or something right here, but that's great range of motion right there. Until you master the stationary lunge, you shouldn't progress to that reverse lunge. Until you master that reverse lunge, then you can try something a little more demanding, or I should say a lot more demanding, like a Bulgarian split squat. Perfect. Good. So that can be loaded the same way. We can have you here, have you with a bar overhead. That's going to be a demanding load on that movement. We can hold a sandbag here. Now it's front. You're going to want to pitch. It's going to really force those erector muscles of the lower back, the abdomen to tighten up. Okay? Plenty of ways to load that movement. Last movement, which I see mangled all the time, is a curtsy lunge. Okay, Sandy does this really well. All right, we need to tie that. Don't worry. All right, so curtsy lunge, simply, Sandy's going to just show us, and I'll just point out things you need to do. So she's going across the body. So she crossed her midline with her right foot. This knee's still right over that ankle where we want it. Okay, and then she's going to step back up. You can do all the reps on one side, then all on the other. You can alternate. Same thing. You can load this here. You can load the weight in different locations. This is really great. You're going to get a lot of emphasis on that opposite glute. So that's 4 lunge progressions we do here at the gym. We do other ones, but those are 4 we really like to hit. Give them a try if you don't do them. And until next time, keep moving. That seemed fine. Good enough, right?